Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be reviewing the basic Samsung soundbar that I bought 4 months ago. So this is the basic and budget soundbar from the Samsung soundbar lineup. So a lot of people doesn't know about the soundbar also because Samsung doesn't push it. So the cost of the soundbar is somewhere between 4,000 to 6,000 basing on the offers that you get online. This is a standalone soundbar, that means doesn't have any subwoofer. So it has two built-in woofers along with two speakers. So this is a 2.0 channel DTS and Dolby Samsung soundbar. The problem why with lot of televisions nowadays is they always have these speakers facing downwards because suppose this is a television, the speakers are always downwards because going to the extent that we need slimmer and slimmer bezels, companies are pushing these speakers to the downwards. The problem is when you are hearing a program which includes voice and sometimes music, maybe like serials, the problem is the music gets too loud and the voice is too timid or too narrow for us to understand what they are speaking. If you can look at the speakers on the right side and the left side, with my flashlight you can see it has 4 speakers in total, if you can observe. So 2 are of speakers and 2 are the woofers. The woofer speakers usually play the higher sounds, the low sounds sorry, which will negate the deficit of a subwoofer. The build quality is excellent. The front part is made of cloth, the top and front, for the sound to permeate, but it is very difficult to clean. It catches a lot of dust and other thing. So coming to connectivities on the back side, we have options to wall mount the speaker. You also have a guide in the box which can be used to punch holes on the wall. So on the other side we have a sound duct which intakes the air, so that the woofer acts as an open speaker which will enhance the audio quality to a large extent. So coming to the connectivity point of view, so this is the back area. So we have different options for connectivity apart from the usual power, and we also have an aux in. You can use the auxiliary port. We also have a toss link, which is the optical audio which can be used for Blu-ray players and another AV players. We also have an USB port which supports a maximum of 2 GB. It can also be used to update the software which is available on the Samsung website. But the USB functionality is very limited since it only limits to 2 GB. Not many people tend to use it, and it is also complex to locate on the behind of the speaker. We also get a remote for this soundbar, which is advantage compared to other speakers like a mid Bluetooth soundbar. So it has options like you have the power button, you have the volume up and down, you have the bass up and down, we have the mute button, and we have also standard and surround to use the Dolby system. And we have input buttons for digital input, that is coaxial optical. We have Bluetooth and auxiliary in. We also have play, pause and forward buttons. The other one features that are available in remote are auto power on, auto power off and USB repeat. Auto power off and auto power on features can be useful, and it is a very useful feature if you are connected to a system using auxiliary or a Bluetooth and voice stops playing in that speaker. After some time speaker automatically turns off to save the power. However, if the signal comes in back either by Bluetooth or auxiliary, the soundbar automatically powers on and starts playing. So this can be useful to save the power, and if we also forget to switch off the soundbar, it automatically shuts down itself. This feature works very well with PCs, but it is very sketchy with mobile phones. Sometimes the connection comes in, sometimes it doesn't. So in that case you have to manually switch on the soundbar. So the coming to usability point of view, the remote is very fairly simple to use, except if you want to pair it to the Samsung TV Connect report. On some models it is a nightmare, and the manual doesn't even help in that aspect, and it is very confusing. Switching between modes is fairly simple task. So press D in button for coaxial or digital in, represented by single white LED, and when you press Bluetooth button, it is represented by a single blue LED. Also if you press the aux in, it is represented by 2 white LEDs. Pairing mode is very easy on the soundbar. You just press and hold the Bluetooth button for 5 seconds. So the blue light keeps blinking, which shows the soundbar is in pairing mode or is waiting for a connection. So coming to using the auto power on, auto power off, so you just need to press and hold the auto power on for 5 seconds. So it will show blue blinking lights along with a green color LED which shows auto power on, just like it is being shown on the display right now. So similar approach for auto power off. Select, press and hold for 5 seconds. It will show with two blinking lights and a red color LED on the display. Coming to the most important aspect, which is the sound quality, and this is where this sound bar punches above its weight. So the bass is very tight and very punchy and very crisp, and the vocals are very crisp, and even the highs are pretty much separated from the vocals. So when you're listening to a movie or listening to music or watching a movie, the different channels or different sounds within that movie are very well nuanced in the audio. So the standard mode works excellently well, even the surround mode. The only problem with the surround mode is sometimes the different frequencies like the voice and the highs which are close to each other tend to overlap. Not it happens always, but when you have a movie which have different channels, they tend to overlap. Also, this soundbar doesn't have any top speakers, so don't expect any Dolby Atmos kind of sound system surrounding the entire room. So if you have top speaker which is tilted to some angle, they usually bounce off the sound from the roof, creating a virtual 360 degrees kind of sound. So that system doesn't work in this soundbar, being this is a very entry level system. But this surround system to more extent works like a 2.1 channel and sometimes 4.1 channel. So Samsung doesn't even advertise this model very well because they are trying to push the higher cost ones, I guess. So for your home system, especially if you are in an apartment, this sound bar will work very well, since you don't want very high bass, because you don't want to disturb the neighbors in thumping sound. So this has a perfect balance between clear sound, good bass, and a decent value for money. And also the profile is very narrow and it doesn't come in the way of operating the remote of the televisions or any other systems. Now let us check some sound samples to see the quality. The remote also has an option of play, pause, forward and backward. This works very well with mobile phones, but has an own mind of its own while working with PCs. Especially in this case, it plays, but when I press pause, see, it just doesn't work. So that is one major problem with this remote. We will now listen to some samples both in standard mode and surround mode to see if the Dolby is really effective in this soundbar. So here we go with the first sample. So first, listening in standard mode. Now let's listen to the same sample in surround mode. Switching to surround now. Now let's listen to the same sample in the surround mode on the soundbar. Switching to surround now. Another sample first in standard mode. In surround mode. I hope the audio samples has eased your purchase decision on this one. So I bought this soundbar for 3,800 rupees, which is an excellent value for money. So if you are able to get this soundbar below 5,000 rupees on any online channels or offline channels, go ahead and buy it. It will be a best purchase decision. But if this is available for more than 5,000 rupees, do not buy it. You can add some more money, buy a standalone JBL soundbar, which also doesn't have a subwoofer but has 4 channels of audio and better quality amplifier and woofers. Okay, so I'll try to add that the link of the JBL sound system also in the description below. So I hope you liked the video. Thank you.